Good morning, everyone. Good morning to the students online as well. It's been a while since we've met.
Audio is not clear, ma'am. Your audio is not clear.
Are you able to hear me now? Can anybody online? The audio is not. Yeah, just give us a few seconds. Am I or is it still a debate? All right, am I better now? Is it clear? Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you for the students who've come and helped me here. Yes, Shubham, I saw your message. It's all right. You're traveling. I understand. That's okay. Okay. So, how is everybody doing? Are we good? Are we keeping well? Yes, other ones online, are you also keeping well? Okay. All right. How did your assessments go? How did your assessment go, your first assessment? You couldn't attach it. Okay. But you finished it? All right. Just meet me after class. I'll tell you like how to send it to me. I think that should be good. What about the rest of the students? What is Yeah, I know you've submitted like I've seen, but what was it? Was it easy? Was it difficult? Was it It was difficult because you had to type or because you didn't understand? The typing. Hmm. Okay, because you're used to MCQs, is it? Hmm. Okay. Yeah, I know that you guys had practice, hence I did not take the class on the 16th with the sole intent that you sit and you finish it off. But I think the very reason why I did not make it MCQs, I wanted you all to type it out and see because I needed to see whether you understood. Right, like through MCQs it's very easy, like your answers are already there, but in order for me to see whether you've understood it or not, that comes through your own words, right? So your second assessment will be the same. You're going to have to type it out, okay? But just be ready for it, because this is the only way that you learn. Like this is what I think, because it's what you're understanding that's coming out on the paper, right? What about the students online? The ones in class have said how they felt about the assessment. How was the assessment for you? Okay, in case if any of you are not able to unmute, you can use the chat box and you can let me know. So today, most probably, we may not be having further classes after this because since our course is done. But then I will be utilizing the 2 hours today just to take up questions, ask you different questions that you may have. We'll also practice drills for a while. And we will just look at a few notes. I do realize that there was like one section that which was like a workbook kind of thing that we haven't really touched. I was supposed to come back to that a little later, so we shall do that. But before I begin, since you've all completed the first part, the assessment bit, was those sections clear? Like those chapters that you've attempted? Were those sections clear? Did you have any questions with regards to that? Okay, thank you for your response for the ones online. That's great. The ones in class? Did you have any questions with regards to that? Where are your books? Okay. All right. So did you all have any questions with regards to the first 6? Were you able to understand? Okay. All right. So before we continue with our discussion, let us just quickly turn. So I'm not going to present it on the screen because I'm assuming that you have your notes with you. So please turn to page 33. There are a few boxes over there. It's in page 33. Yeah, so you can see those statements, right? There's one on 33 and there's one on page 34. Okay, so I'm not going to be the one who'll be answering this. So I'll just put the statements and then the rest of you can tell me what you think would be the right answer. And then we'll see how that works out. Okay, students online, are we all on the same page? Are we good? You can just send in your reactions.
Which page?
Page number 33.
Okay.
It's 33 on your notes. It's on chapter 6, page number 33. All right. If we're all there, can you just send me some reactions or something so that I can see that we're all there? Are you all able to hear me online? I think you are. I'm just not getting.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, perfect. All right, great. So let's start. So basically, when you're looking at that page, we're looking at reflection of feelings, reflection of communication, and what a counselor could say in order to make your client understood that, yes, I get what you're saying, right? So if you look at the first statement, it says, I think I'm going to leave him. Yeah, and the counselor says she's basically reflecting the feeling, and she's saying that you sound frustrated, right? Which makes sense because you can see that the person is not doing so great, right? So what do you think you could say if somebody comes and tells you, my partner never listens to me? You sound neglected. All right, that's a good one. Anything else? What are the different words that you can use? You can also fill up that box actually. Pardon? You'll get angry. Y- Okay, so when you're looking at anger, you'll have to listen to their tone, right? If they say my partner never listens to me, that's anger, right? And if somebody says my partner never listens to me, that's more of like a disappointment, neglect coming in, right?
You
Okay.
get agitated.
You get agitated also, yes. Correct. So basically, when you're reflecting feelings, all of these words that you're using, right? Agitation, anger, neglect, disappointment, these are a reflection of feelings, right? So when you're phrasing it, it would be in that sentence, right? If you all have pencils, you can also just like write that in because it'll actually help you. Okay. Now, the next one, I desperately need a vacation. If somebody comes and says this to you, what would you say? You sound like you're very tired. All right. Stress. Frame
Why
it
do
in a.
you think that you need a vacation?
You sound like you need a vacation. Okay, but for the ones who've given me the answers in class, can you frame that in a sentence? Like you said like stress, right? And you said tired. Okay, now frame that in a sentence and say it to me. Like I'm telling you, I desperately need a vacation. What would your response be to me using those words? It's correct. Just put it in a sentence. It seems that you're tired. Good. How would you use the word stressed? You seem like it seems that your work has been making you stressed. All right. We can use that. Okay. Now, what is the next one? I hate my job or school. If it's a student who's coming into you, how would you reflect this? Like the sentiment is very clear. They hate. Like the feeling is coming in, right? So how would you reflect that back to them? But they didn't mention boss at all, right? The first part of the sentence is correct. It seems like, that part is fine. Now fix the second part. So see, they didn't mention a person, they didn't mention a thing. It's just their environment, right? So they're just mentioning about school or college. So what would you say? That's a question which you can ask. Here we're looking at reflecting the feelings, like in the same way, like how you were mentioning earlier, right? It sounds like you're angry, it seems like you've been stressed. Do the same thing with this one. Pardon? Think you have so much workload. No, that's not the right one. Try to think of the feeling. Here it's hate, right? I'm saying I hate my job. Pardon? You sound unhappy and frustrated. Correct. So, what do you see is the difference between the answer that he gave and the different things that you gave? What you gave is also right, right? But right now, what is the main difference that came in? Students online, are you able to follow? So, one answer came, you sound unhappy and frustrated. And the other questions was, is there something that's burdening you? Is your boss not treating you well? Is there too much work? But then the right answer here is moving towards, you sound unhappy and frustrated. Why do you think that is the more appropriate answer here? We're trying to reflect feelings. You've understood? So when you're trying to reflect somebody's feelings, you're focusing only on the feeling, right? Your questions can come later on because all of those questions are also right, right? But then we are looking at reflection of feelings. Why? So that you make that person understand, yeah, I can sense that you're not happy. I can sense that you're angry. So I know what you're feeling. Understood? We good? Okay, let's move on to the next box on page 34. So now we're looking at clarification, right? So clarification basically means asking questions in order for you to understand the situation a little better, or to see if you've understood correctly what the person is trying to say, right? So the first one, it says, I think I'm going to leave him. So the counselor says, you don't think it's worth staying and trying to work things out, because that's what you've understood. Because they want to leave, okay, maybe they don't want to try to make things work out anymore. So you're trying to clarify that for yourself, right? So let's look at the second one. My partner never listens to me. It's basically the same thing, like the same box, right? So my partner never listens to me. So you've said, what was the answer that you gave? You sound like you're neglected, right? So what would be a question that you could ask them? Just use the microphone also so that they can hear.
Why do you feel your partner is not listening to you?
Why do you feel like your partner is not listening to you? That's a one that you can use. Anything else? Write it down, okay? Like if you have pencils, just write it down. Why do you think your partner is not listening to you? What else can you ask? You can actually ask a few more here.
Have you discussed this with your partner?
Have you discussed this with your partner? Yeah. That's also something that you can use. Really nice.
Do you feel that your partner is not understanding your thoughts or something?
Do you feel that your partner is not understanding you? That's also a really nice one to use. Right. Any more answers before we go on to the next one? Any more answers? We're good? Okay. I desperately need a vacation. Right? So what was the answer that we have gotten from the reflection of feelings for this? It sounds that you've tired. It sounds that you're tired. It sounds that you're stressed. It sounds that you're burnt out. So you've reflected the feelings. How could you follow this up with a question now? What could you say?
Do you have a workload? Workload.
Do you have a high workload right now? Yeah. You can also ask that. Anything else? Now is the time to speak. Do you have a high workload? Why else do you think somebody would need a vacation? Maybe for an emergency? Okay, usually if it's an emergency, people may not use the word vacation. They may say that I may need to travel, I may have to go somewhere, right? So the feelings that you've all reflected, tired, stressed, burnt out, where do you think this can also come if it's not from work?
Pressure at home.
Pressure at home. Right? Pressure at home is also one of the main things why people may want to just escape. Thank you, Renita, for that answer. People may just want to escape and go away, right? Where else do you think, why would people want to escape from something? Grief. Yeah. People may also be too sad and they're like, can I just go on a vacation? Can I just disappear for a while, right? So now everybody has given me 3 different contexts, right? So now if we take the context of work, the next question will be what Raju has said. Are you overburdened? Is there a lot of things happening at work, right? Now if we take the context of family, if you know that your client is going through a lot of family pressure, what would be the question that you could ask them? If you know that the reason behind them wanting to leave is because of family pressure, what could be a question that you could ask? If the person says, I desperately need a vacation, and you know that the reason behind them saying this is because the family pressure is too much, what question could you follow it up with? Suppose you've said, they're saying, I desperately need a vacation, and maybe you say, it sounds like things at home are pretty stressful for you. Since you know the context is things at home and pressure at home, right? What could you say as a follow up question?
Is it due to pressure of marriage?
Okay. Is it due to the pressure of marriage? Okay, that could be one. But also, this will depend on the context. So, it would fit if the context is for marriage and if it's the pressure of marriage. Okay. What else do you think you could ask them?
What kind of a pressure you're going through at home?
What kind of a pressure are you going through at home? All right. That's also a good one to ask if you're unsure what exactly is pushing them through. Okay, understood? All right. Let's move on to the next one. I hate my job. We'll stick to that. Okay, I hate my job. It sounds like, so we'll go with it sounds like you're unhappy and frustrated, right? I hate my job. So you're saying it sounds like you're unhappy and frustrated. What will be the follow up question that you could ask to clarify this? The situation is a job. You've understood they're unhappy and frustrated. What could be the question you could ask them? Say. Just take the microphone and speak into it. It's okay. It's better to be making those wrong questions than to be saying it to somebody else.
Have you discussed this issue with your boss?
Okay. Have you discussed this issue with your boss? Is it the work or something else that's making you frustrated? Good. Both of these answers work pretty well. Why? Because if you've discussed it with your boss, you as a counselor would be able to understand whether they have already taken steps or something else to try to fix the issue, or if you're trying to figure out and you don't know, so is it your job, it could be your colleagues, it could be the work, what could it be, right? That's good.
What is it about your job? There is what.
What is it about your job that you don't like? Good. So these are the questions that you can use. All right. Now let's just look at the last one. Let's try to see if you can reflect feelings from this one as well, right? I can't decide if I should go to the party. Okay. You can say that, but now try to reflect the feeling first and then come to the question. Okay, so I'm coming and I'm telling you, I can't decide if I should go to the party. What feeling do you think I may be going through if I'm saying that? Pardon?
Might be stressful.
Might be stressful, may not be interested. Okay, now frame it in a sentence. You can use this interested, stressful. Now frame it in a sentence to reflect my feeling of saying that I can't decide if I should go to the party. It's okay if you're reflecting the wrong feeling, because your client will correct it for you. Most of the time, they'll always correct, right? So, how would you put it in a sentence? You can put yours in a sentence. You're saying not interested, right? Put that in a sentence and say it back to me. That comes after. That's the clarification part. You can use that, but before that, reflect that feeling. Confusion, even what you said, also not interested, also stress could also be a feeling. Unsure, yeah. Now put all of these words in a sentence and say it back to me, like how you were saying for the other ones. Just put it in a sentence. It's correct. Put it in a sentence and say it back to me. I don't think frustrated may be the right one, because they're saying I can't decide. They are not able to decide, right? So maybe frustration may not be the right one to use. That is a question. That's a clarification. Feeling. You've all given me feelings. Put that in a sentence. Use yours. Try to put it in a sentence. Okay, I'll just rephrase that for you. You sound unsure if you'd want to go to the party. Then you follow up with the rest of your questions, right? Is there something else that you would like to do? Now, if we take yours, which you've said not interested, you seem uninterested also for going to the party. What do you think could be the reason? If we're using yours, it sounds like you're unsure about going to the party. Is anything bringing up from the past for you if you go to the party? Are you seeing the connection? You're reflecting and you're asking question. You're reflecting, you're asking question. Are you understanding? Okay. So these reflecting skills, right? Of course, I can see that I'm saying it for the ones in class because I can see you. I can see that you're understanding, right? Hence the questions are coming in that you're asking, okay, should I ask this? Can I ask this? Which is good. But at some point, your client will also need to understand that the emotions part you're able to understand, right? All of these questions are good questions, right? But at times, try to reflect their feelings first also so that they can sense that, oh, they are bringing up this feeling, right? After the class, I will just post an emotion wheel, right? So when you look at the emotion wheel, you can see how one emotion may branch out into so many different things that are more specific, right? So whenever you're talking to people, you can actually use that to like pinpoint a certain emotion. And I think once you read the wheel, you'll be able to understand, right? Usually it has 3 concentric circles. It has happy, sad, angry, and as it goes on, it just branches into very more specific emotions with that. So I'll share that so that you can just keep it handy. I think it'll be helpful. Okay. Now let's take up questions because the class is going to end and maybe you might be in the field counseling, talking to people. So do you have any questions with regards to counseling or different things of how counseling should work? Do you have questions with regards to ethics of counseling? Ethics is the last chapter. Most of us need more clarity when it comes to ethics, which is pretty understandable. Do you have any questions with regards to counseling, with regards to what we've done, especially for the first 6, since I know that you had to type, so you had to go through and look at the notes and everything. So as you were reading, was there anything that you didn't understand, anything that you needed more clarification on? You can look through your notes and just see if there's something that you'd like to have it checked. For the ones online, also please feel free to unmute and you can ask. Okay, are we clear? Okay, so before we go into drills for today, just another heads up. Your second assessment will be coming in the month of April, most probably in the second. Yeah, I don't know if you should consider like first and second as a week because it's just a few days. So the following week after that, you will be getting your second set of assessments. Again, it's going to be typed. You're going to have to write it out and type it out. I know it's a little more of a physical labor that you'll have to put in, but it's the only way that you'll see if you've understood, right? Because again, like I said, with MCQs, it'll be easier to pick your option, but I genuinely want to see if you've understood the content of the chapter, right? So that's there. All right. So from class, is everybody done with drills? I know most of you are. You're done. You're done. The two of you are left for drills. Okay, for the ones online, I know quite a few are yet to finish drills. So, can we have? So the two of you decide who would wanna come first. Like only one of you come. We'll have like one student from online and one in person, so that we can move it that way. Any volunteers online? Who else is yet to complete? Who else is there? Anusha has finished, right? I think she's finished. Yeah, but she's attending online, but I just wanted to check if she's done. Yeah, cool. Anusha's also done. Just going through. Should I just pick should I just like randomly pick? Or would somebody want to volunteer? Ajay, are you there? Ajay, if you can hear me, could you please send me in a response just to see if you'd be able to do the drills today?
Yes, we can hear you, Gabriel.
Yes, yes. I'm just waiting for Ajay to give me a response. I would like for him to participate in the drills. Okay, no response. Sharmishta, are you there online?
Ma'am, I'm in traveling.
You're traveling. Okay.
Yeah, every day. Actually, at this time, I go to school. So,
Okay, all right, all right. No worries, no worries. Okay. Who else is there? Augustine, are you there online?
Ma'am, I am also traveling. Ma'am, I'm going to hospital. Ma'am, my daddy health issue.
Okay, all right, no worries. I hope your dad gets better soon. But thank you so much for
Yeah,
just
pressure,
joining
ma'am,
in the
so
class. Okay. Okay, Daniel, are you there? Boaz, Daniel, would you be able to do the drills today? Yeah, if nobody's there, the two of you do it. I'm just checking if like people online are available or not. Okay, there's no response. Jeevan, are you there? I really hope that you're not responding because it's drills, and I hope you're paying attention to the class at least. Okay, Pooja, are you done with your drills? I do not recall. Okay. Renita, would you be able to do the drills today?
Sure, Gabriel, but I'm also driving, so but I can still do it.
You're driving. No, that's okay. I think we can check in the next hour. You can get to your
Yeah.
location first. That's okay. No worries.
Okay.
Okay. So I think apart from this, the others would be done. Shiraj is also traveling. I think he's traveling. Okay, let's have the two of you then. Can you just get one chair for you as well? Face the camera. Okay. All right. So today in class, so just mention your names before you start so that people know who you're talking, who is in class and who's paying attention. So Between the two of you, who would want to be the counselor and the counselee? And we'll switch again. You will counsel? Okay, so you'll be the counselor. Okay. Okay, so what would you like to give them as a topic? Why do you want him to come for counseling? More active, more active. Yeah. Just give him a reason to come for counseling. Marriage problems. Okay, sorted. So you're coming in with marriage problems and you're the counselor. Okay? Okay? So as a counselor, remember that and like make him comfortable first. Ask him a few of those opening questions so that you understand what he's doing, where he's from, the things that he does, before you directly jump into the question. Okay? All right.
So, hi guys, my name is Pradeep. I'm from UP.
My name is Vijay. I am from Andhra Pradesh.
I came.
So what's your name?
My name is Pradeep.
Are you from
UP.
UP? So how do you know about our counseling? Yeah.
So someone is my friend. He
Yeah.
told me about that because I have that problem,
Yeah.
family issue,
Yeah.
with my wife.
Yeah.
So okay. So I know that about counseling
Yeah.
from my
Yeah.
friend.
Yes.
So he suggested me you go
Yeah.
like to
Yeah.
you, and I have that problem many years.
Hmm.
I can't tell.
Yeah. So thank you for being here. And could you please explain me actually what's happened in your life, in your
So
marriage life?
okay, sorry. So what happened now? I got married.
Yeah.
Then after 2 years, she started to talk differently.
Yeah.
So before married,
Yeah.
we are both equal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then after married, maybe he went. No, he went in. So he told me I
Yeah.
want to do study
Yeah.
like in nursing. So I suggest you go.
Yeah.
Then after coming 2 year,
Hmm.
she fully changed. She
Yeah.
not listening to me.
Yes.
She is not spending time with me.
Yeah.
So what I can do on that?
Yeah.
Also, I have one daughter.
Hmm.
I have to handle that.
Yeah.
So how I can do?
So you are taking care of your daughter.
Yes.
So now she finished her studies, or
She finished it.
so now she's doing any job?
Yes, she is doing job.
Yeah.
She is coming after like a job night time,
Yeah.
maybe 6 o'clock. So I trying to spend time with her, but
Yeah.
she's not listening to me. Also,
Yeah.
most time she is spending with like a job.
Yeah. Yes.
Sometimes my daughters used to say,
Hmm.
Papa,
Yeah.
she's not like a mom. My
Yeah.
mom is not spending time with me. So
Oh.
what I can do?
Yeah. Seems like that. Uh, it's very sad, like that you want to speak more with her, but
Yes.
she's not like spending time. She's not spending time with your daughter also. Yeah.
So one I will tell. One time what happened now?
Yeah.
My daughter told
Yes.
to my wife,
Yeah.
Mom, why you not spending with us
Yeah.
time?
Yeah.
She told, I don't have time.
Hmm. Yes.
I have to go to do job.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking to take divorce.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So uh, did you ask like uh, so in her free time, no, in holidays or some Sundays, uh, did you spend time with her and did you speak to her? In the working days, we all know she was busy, but in the holidays, like in the weekends, no, there is time to spend time with the family. Could you please explain me that she was spending time in the weekends or not?
We spending time,
She's
not
spend,
much,
yeah,
like a little bit.
little bit. Yeah. So I understand your problem actually. So in marriage, like communication is big thing. Yeah, I think like she's having any workload pressure uh, in the job.
I don't know, but
Yeah,
so if she is doing a job,
yeah.
so she have to take care about family also.
Yes, yes.
So I am worried that only.
Yeah,
Before married she was good.
yeah,
After married 2 years, she
yeah,
was fully changed. How become?
yeah. It's not that actually she was.
Maybe she was no, no, sorry. Maybe she was working different way. I can't say anything.
Have you ever noticed that
I
she,
noticed
you,
she mostly used to phone in
uh,
call also.
yeah,
Call only.
uh,
She used to go outside.
yeah.
That's why I thought I have to divorce.
Yes.
Okay. So before we continue, very good job from the point of view of a counselee. What did you see of what happened during this session, and how do you think it can be better? How do you think it can be better? There are many ways that it could have gone better, right? What do you think could have been better? Or did you see nothing wrong with it? What are your thoughts? They were speaking so softly and you couldn't hear. Okay. Yeah. But see, don't look at it from the point of view of the counselee, because the counselee will do that. Any counselee will come, will keep talking to you over and over again. Look at it from the point of view of a counselor. What could have been different then? Your counselee will come, some of them, the moment they sit on the chair, they'll just go on and on and on and on. They may not stop talking, right? But how do you get the information that you need, and what happened during the session?
So what I felt is, I the way of they both were conversation going, right. It was nice, and he was in a hurry, and he was telling, right. Actually, in a perspective of counseling, he will speak, and in place of that, Vijay can take a small breaks, like he can ask the counselor to take and confirm that, okay, this is this sentence, this is okay, you have this problem, is it? He can ask in between, like he was like just, maybe I felt like he can take a break so that he can also remember the points, right. He can also get confirmed, double check kind of.
That was a good insight. Yeah, like there was a lot of information that was coming in, right? And most times your counselee will come and you'll have a lot to remember on, right? Hence it's important to also, like, if you don't have a space to take notes, like you can also just pause like in the middle and reflect back on all of those different things. Like he did do a bit of a reflection. He did do reflection. He did come back to the points like towards the end when he was listening. Yeah. So that was pretty good from his side. He was able to understand the feelings that he had. He was asking a bunch of questions. But at some point there was some advice that was given. Did you pick that up? When he asked about like marriage is communication, right? So when you say that thing, of course it's true, but the tone at which it's being said may change the way it might be addressed, right? Another thing that we can look at is when somebody is coming in and asking about so many different things, right? There were so many questions that when I was looking, I could have asked, have you communicated with your wife about this? Did you ask her why she does not want to spend time with you? And he did ask, like, is it her job that's being stressful and all of those things, right? So there are many, many different questions that you can ask, right? So a few things that I think was missed through asking about this is like a few key things as a counselor that you will need to know. Okay, how long was the marriage, how long has the marriage been? Are there any other additional problems that you think you may be going through? Are you working? Is only your wife the one who's working? Because if the wife is the one there's a high chance that she may just be angry also, like be like, you're not doing anything, you're just at home, I don't want to spend time with you, right? So there's so many different things that can come, but both of them did a good job. I especially like the fact that he was able to reflect feelings as a counselor. He asked the right questions, right? But there are more questions that can also be asked, but for a start, pretty good, right? So anyone from the online students, any insights that you may have? Okay, all right. Thank you so much. I think there's no questions online. Okay, thank you so much for joining in class for this hour. I'll see you again for the next one. Yeah, thank you.